We are Baltimore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It is a gorgeous day for baseball here in Chicago. Today, the Tigers bring their 10-game road trip to a close. It is sunny. It is 80 degrees. And today is the final game of the series featuring the Detroit Tigers and the Chicago White Sox. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Jack Morris. Glad to have you with us. The Tigers dropped Game 2 in the series last night, so they're looking for at least one win in the series here today. They let one get away yesterday, Jack, but still a chance at a 500 road trip.
That's just it. They need to win today to keep it at 500 for the road trip. They had a good series in Minnesota, split in Kansas City, and with a win today, they can go home at 500. And that's what you want on the road, especially against your own division. You want to win more at home in front of your home crowd.
All right, now one of the issues for the Tigers this year has been their pitching, both in the starting rotation and in the bullpen. Back end of the rotation has not been awfully consistent. Neither has the bullpen. You'll see some of the numbers. The Tigers starters, an ERA of 4.16, the bullpen at 4.07, and really going forward, Jack, the Tigers need to improve in these two areas.
Well, Simon and Green both started out on fire. They're 3-0 and 4-0 respectively, and all of a sudden they've come back to earth. So they've got to get back on track. The bullpen has done a pretty good job, but they've been used quite a bit lately. So hopefully it'll all kind of straighten out, and the Tigers start winning a few more ball games.
All right, now one of the big blows in the ball game last night, probably the biggest blow off the bat of Melky Cabrera, had a big game, that 3-run homer late, but he has really torched the Tigers pitching.
He has. He's been hitting the ball very well against Detroit, especially left-handed. And Melky got a couple of sliders, a couple of looks off of Jabba yesterday, that hanger right down the middle of the plate, and he hits it as far as he can out to right field. A big blow for the Chicago White Sox and kind of a tough break for Jabba.
Melky Cabrera over 400 against Tigers pitching in his last 20 games to try and slow him down here this afternoon. Tigers play the final one here. Back home tomorrow, KC coming to town. That'll be a big series at Comerica Park. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Stamp Studios and check in with John Keating. And coming up in this one here today, there's another Cabrera in this game. Hopefully he'll get hot and stay hot for the Tigers. Miguel Cabrera, 3 homers on this road trip. Stay with us. Tigers Sox, Game 3 next. Spectacular day for baseball here in Chicago. We're at U.S. Cellular Field on the south side. Tigers and the White Sox getting set to do battle today. The Tigers starting lineup presented by your Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Rajay Davis will lead off in center field. Kinsler and Miguel Cabrera. Victor Martinez, big night last night, DHing again today. Cespedes in left, J.D. Martinez in right, and a bottom three of Castellanos, Avila, and Hernan Perez playing shortstop today, and they will take their swings against lefty Jose Quintana.
Yeah, the 26-year-old left-hander is making his sixth start of the season. In his last start against the Twins, he allowed 1 run on 6 hits over 7 innings. That run came in on a wild pitch, so he actually pitched a lot better than the loss that he acquired. And it's a situation where the Tigers need to get a W to come home at 500. Now let's take a look at the White Sox starting defense. It's brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left field, Melky Cabrera, game winner last night, or game tied home run last night. Adam Eaton center, and Avisail Garcia in right. Beckham is going to play third base today. Ramirez, Johnson, and Abreu, and behind the plate is Tyler Flowers.
So we are ready for baseball today. Sunny and around 80 degrees or so much warmer than the first 2 games in this series. And we are set to go as Rajay Davis gets ready to set it to the batter's box. He'll be followed by Kinsler and then Cabrera. Rajay batting .293, has had a couple of hits in the series, and both of them for extra bases, a double and a triple.
Rajay picked up a RBI also in last night's game, so he had a good night offensively.
He did, and he got the Tigers off and running against Chris Sale last night with a triple to start the ball game. Quintana ready. Here's the first pitch, and it's swung on and missed. 0-1. Davis 1 home run, 6 RBIs this season. Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's low and in. 1 ball, 1 strike. Davis got on the team bus yesterday, and it was a little bit cooler. He was wearing a knit cap and a scarf.
2 days in a row.
And today
he's going
to put him away, that's for sure. Here's the 1-1. That's low. 2 balls, 1 strike on Davis. Tigers got to Quintana quite a bit the last time they saw him, but as Jack mentioned, his last 2 starts really good. The left-hander who hails from Colombia. 2-1 is fouled straight back. 2-2 on Davis.
One thing you could say about Quintana is he's been pretty durable. He's pitched a couple hundred innings in the last 2 seasons, averaging 150 plus strikeouts, so he's been a little bit of a workhorse for this ball club.
He just has not gotten much run support in his career. Here's the 2-2. Swing and a miss. Down goes Davis. And that's how we start this one today. First strikeout of the ball game for Quintana as we check out the field conditions this afternoon. They are presented by Ace Hardware and the Scotts Company. I was a little bit short. It's actually 86 degrees here this afternoon. Sunny and clear skies right now. That's the good news. We have really good conditions for this one. Here is Ian Kinsler batting in the 2 spot. A couple of hits and 3 walks in the series. He walked 3 times in last night's game. And Quintana works at home. Well, it is officially 25 degrees warmer at the start of this game than it was at the start of the game last night. So the temperatures have really charged up the last day.
A little fog in the air the last 2 days, but today it's blown through. Wind out of the southwest.
1 ball, 1 strike on Kinsler. Here's that breeze we were talking about.
Just the opposite of what it was blowing the last couple of days.
Miss outside, and the count goes 2-1 now on Kinsler. Tigers wrap up this series. A win here today. They go home with a 500 road trip in that big series against the Royals coming up beginning tomorrow night at Comerica. Ripped to third, but caught there by Beckham. Hit it right at him, and there are 2 gone. Bring up Cabrera.
You can't hit a ball any harder than that. Your hitting coach will tell you as you come back, keep swinging it like that. You're frustrated. You want it to fall in. You'd rather have a Little wounded quail, but that one goes down as an out. You hit it well.
One of the injustices of baseball, hit a ball that hard and get nothing to show for it. As Cabrera stands in, Miggy just 1 for 7 in the series. He has walked a couple of times. The average is level now at 350. Quintana missing outside, 1-1.
Well, Miggy needs that one big game to stay hot in every series on the road this trip. He had a great game against the Twins. He had a very good game against Kansas City. You got to pick a couple RBIs in this series so far, but not the kind of game you're used to with Miggy sometimes.
Wave and a miss, and the count goes 1-2. Well, Cabrera now with 20 RBIs on the year still leads the league in on-base percentage, and that's because of all the walks that he draws and certainly all the hits that he's piled up.
2 walks in yesterday's game.
The 1-2 is up and in, and it hit him. It just clipped Cabrera. Not by much. Tigers get a 2-out base runner. Just barely grazed Cabrera. It's going to bring up Victor Martinez. Tigers, by the way, had runners on base in every inning last night, and they have started things off the same way here today. There were 23 men left on base combined in that ball game last night. Here's Victor batting .217. Had a big game yesterday. Of course, had that home run against Chris Sale. And a line one to right field, base hit. Cabrera chugging around second. He's going to go to third. It'll be a single for Victor Martinez.
That's a good sign to see Victor shooting the ball to right field as a right-handed hitter. He's staying back and able to go with the ball. Just a good swing right there.
Meanwhile, Miggy able to make it all the way to third. We'll see if the Tigers now can make Quintana pay with the hit batter. 2-on-2 out for Yoenis Cespedes.
The Twins have scored, the Tigers have scored in each of the first innings of the 2 games this series.
Well, let's not break that then. As Cespedes stands in. 1 for 8 in this series for Yoenis. And he looks at ball 1 high. Cespedes flip-flopping with J.D. Martinez last night. Same story here today with J.D. struggling offensively. They've moved Cespedes up to 5 in the Tigers lineup. Here's the 1-0. Yoenis, for the most part, has had a really good trip. 11 hits for Detroit.
Quintana pulling the string there on that last pitch, getting him out front.
Cabrera, the runner at third base. Martinez at first. Early scoring chance for the Tigers. Now Quintana's 1-1. Cespedes will drive it foul back out of play.
Back on April 19th, Yoenis Cespedes had 2 home runs off Quintana at Comerica. And those 2 Swedes, grand slam on that one. And that makes you pretty happy. 4 RBIs in 1 swing.
And it makes Quintana a little bit leery. When you look at the numbers, Cespedes now 6 for 8 in his career against Quintana. It's been a good matchup for him. Bounce in, good block there by Flowers to keep the runners holding. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cespedes had to arrive at the locker room with a smile on his face today. 6 for 8 against Quintana and 4 home runs. I mean, that is some major domination.
That's called owning the guy, yeah.
JD waiting on deck.
Fastball away.
Full count now, 3-2. That start against Detroit back on the 19th, 10 hits and 9 earned runs against Quintana in 4 innings. But after that, really straightened himself out. His next 2 starts were good. And the 3-2. Lost him. That'll get away from Flowers. Miggy trying to score. Shoved to the plate. Out of time. Quintana didn't get there in time, and the run will score. Well, Miggy was ultra aggressive there.
Well, they're thinking that he swung. Quintana, typical, a lot of times you're looking for the play before you get the ball in your glove. And he peeked a little bit at Miguel coming down the line. And that's why that ball was clanked. Robin Ventura out there disputing something.
Might have been arguing the fact that Cespedes might have been in the way.
Let's take another look here. Ball sneaks away from Tyler Flowers, and Cespedes. Yeah, he didn't.
Yeah, I don't know about being in the way.
Well, you could argue it.
Yeah, from that angle. And immediately you could see Quintana was pointing toward
I don't know
Cespedes.
how you rule on that as an umpire, because he's allowed to go down the first baseline.
Right, it's not like Cespedes.
It's a walk. I
Yeah.
mean, literally. So I don't know as though there's any time limit to get down there.
No, I don't think so. So the Tigers get a run. The hit batter comes around to score. 1-0 Detroit. Do it again. They score in the first inning. Here is J.D. Martinez. Run scoring on the wild pitch. Martinez at 226 now, with runners at first and second. That's it for a strike, 0-1. JD just needs a hit in the worst way. Now, he did get 3 walks in last night's game, which is certainly progress, but he's 0 for his last 20. And even one of those bloopers, as you call it, would do right now for Martinez. The 0-1. Quintana throws another one in the dirt. 1 ball, 1 strike.
So far, when Quintana's been misfiring, it's been down. He's really staying on top of that breaking ball, making sure that he doesn't hang it.
Martinez, the runner at second base. Cespedes at first. JD tried to hold up. Foul tipped it into the glove, and it's now 1-2. 6 home runs this year for Martinez, which has been among the league high. Foul straight back of the screen. Quintana got the first 2 outs in this inning, needed just 9 pitches to do so, but it's gotten tricky since. After hitting Cabrera, gives up a single to Martinez, then throws a wild pitch on ball 4 to Cespedes. And again bouncing in, so Quintana continues to miss in the dirt.
With Victor Martinez on second base, it's going to take a gapper or a ball down the line to score Victor. Tigers are kind of fixing a base-to-base situation with Victor on the base pass.
Two and two. Able to stay alive by fouling it back. By the way, you can stay tuned for Tigers Live following the game. We'll select our Fox Sports Detroit Tigers player of the game, presented by the 2 for $5 classic quarter pounder with cheese. Who will be the Tigers player of the game today?
You got a pick?
I'm going to go with Cespedes. Just because he owns Quintana.
I'm going to go with Victor. He's already got a hit.
Just swing and a miss. Down goes Martinez. That'll end the inning. I see how you do it there, Jack. 1-0 in favor of Detroit. By Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
There's the numbers for Kyle this year. He's making his 5th start. He took the loss in his last start, allowing 4 runs on 10 hits. He went 7 1/3 innings. That was against Kansas City. And today the first start of his career here at U.S. Cellular.
We'll see how he does as Adam Eaton digs in now for the White Sox. Eaton, Cabrera, Abreu, their top 3. 3 out of 8 in the series as Eaton starts to heat up a little bit. The average over 200 now. And he looks at ball 1 high. No homers, no RBIs for their leadoff man. Eaton has hit safely in his last 3. And it's in there for a strike. Lobstein works home the 1-1 pitch. Eaton with a 2-base hit in the series. Last night's ball game had a single, a walk, and another base hit. In fact, he had a big single in the 8th inning. That line drive off the glove of Castellanos, which preceded the home run by Melky Cabrera. Chopper hit towards second. Routine there for Kinsler. Eaton is gone, 1 away. Here's the rest of the lineup for Chicago today, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Cabrera, then Abreu to follow here in the 1st inning. Garcia is their cleanup man, 16 RBIs in 20 career games versus Detroit. LaRoche, Ramirez, and about 3 of Beckham, Flowers, and Micah Johnson. Starting 9 for Chicago. So here's Melky Cabrera batting right-handed against the lefty.
Yeah, his numbers aren't quite as good right-handed early on this year.
In fact, when you look at those numbers, he's only 2 for 27, which is 0-74 versus 369 from the other side. Foul back, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cabrera's home run, a stunning 3-run shot in the bottom of the 8th, tied the ball game up, but it was what happened after that that really hurt as well. Abreu, LaRoche, and Garcia all with singles. Kinsler, tough play, and he throws him out.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense. That's presented by Bill Fox Chevrolet. From left to right, it's Cespedes, Rajay Davis, and J.D. Martinez. You can see Nick Castellanos playing 3rd base. Perez is playing short today, and Ian Kinsler, Miguel Cabrera at 1st base. Behind the dish, Alex Avila's back there, and Kyle Lobstein on the hill.
And Lobstein now in search of a 1-2-3 first as Jose Abreu stands in. A couple of ground balls to Ian Kinsler for the White Sox. Abreu takes ball 1. I guess Lobstein, Jack, has just had one of those seasons where he's done what has been expected. He's been able to keep his team in ball games, pitch fairly deep in the game, as he misses outside 2-0.
Well, I have a theory, and I'm not sure it's accurate, but you know me, I got a lot of theories, so I'm going to throw them out there and see what we can pick apart. But I think a lot of young pitchers that become starters into their 3rd season is when they really start getting the feel for what's going on and how to pitch. I think there's so much nerves and so much the speed of games and the awe of major league hitters.
There's ball 4 to Abreu.
Sometimes it takes a pitcher 2 to 3 years before he really starts settling in and you kind of know what he is.
Bring Bobby Garcia with 2 outs. Is that how long it took you? 3 years, you think?
Well, you know, when I think about it, I was started out in the bullpen. I started as a starter, had a couple good starts, and got hurt. And I went to the bullpen for a year and a half, and those were miserable times, mainly because I was hurting so much. And who wants to be in the bullpen, right?
Well, you said it, not me. I'm not getting in trouble with our bullpen guys.
I'll just say it out there just in case you're confused as to why I would say that. Up until recent years, all pitchers were starters, and when they couldn't start anymore, they went to the bullpen. Now
gotcha.
Kids actually start as a reliever in high school.
There's a high fly ball headed to right center field. Circling is Martinez. Got a hold of that one a little bit. Kyle up, seeing a 2-out walk, but no damage. We go to the second. By Comerica Bank, raise your expectations of what a bank can be. When it's time, come to Comerica. Dodge, come discover great deals during the Dodge Drive and Discover events. And by Oscar Mayer Beef Hot Dogs, it's grown-up food. Gorgeous day on the Chicago River here, the Windy City, 1-0. Tigers have the lead as we play Game 3 in this series. Chicago's won the first two.
You ever take that cruise through the river and look at all the buildings?
How about you?
I've done it.
Have you?
Yeah.
Is it highly recommendable?
It's interesting. Good way to waste a couple hours.
I'll take that as kind of a
It's kind of a
There's Castellanos to lead it off. No offense to anyone involved. But,
no.
Here's a strike called on Nick. A couple of batters right now in the Tigers lineup they've got to get going. JD, of course, and Castellanos. Nick 1 for 9 in the series. Now Quintana's 0-1.
One of the things that I look at when I look over some of the numbers for the pitchers is hits per inning, in relation to innings pitched. And Quintana right now has got 36 hits given up in 30 innings of pitching. You want that number to be at or below the innings pitched, number of hits. And he does have a very good strikeout to walk ratio, 3 strikeouts for every 1 walk coming into today's game.
Here's the 1-2. See, now the hits is half the equation of whip, and I know you're not a big guy into in the sabermetric stats, but whip is hits and walks per innings pitched, so that's be a good stat for you to look at.
Well, you can give up 9 hits, and as long as they never get to second base, you've had a shutout. It's a great game. You can probably give up 15 hits and figure out the way to throw a shutout.
Castellanos strikes out.
My point is that Quintana is a guy that does get a lot of strikeouts, but he also throws a lot of pitches because of the strikeouts. He's got a pretty decent walk ratio this year. And he's been just a tough luck pitcher his last couple outings.
And that he has, and really throughout the course of his career has never really received a whole lot of run support, and because of that has piled up a ton of no decisions over the years. Here is Alex Avila. Homered in Game 1 of the series, an opposite field shot. Strike one on Alex. 3.92 in support since 2013, and that's the 5th fewest in Major League Baseball.
You got to be pretty darn good to win games when you only get under 4 runs.
Yeah, no doubt. Meanwhile, Avila down on the count 0-2. He gets the start today, even though there's a lefty on the mound. Thought that perhaps James McCann might get the call again today. Now Quintana with the 0-2. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Avila's had 5 hits on the road trip. The average at .214. Had the big game on Sunday against the Royals. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Right by Dave Clark down the third base line. There's McCann, who had a couple of hits in last night's ball game. Unfortunately, after his big hit in the Tigers' 9th inning, he rounded the bag and was picked off first base, which really short-circuited the Tigers' rally in the 9th. There's strike 3, and Avila doesn't like it. Caught looking.
Well, Alex is arguing that it was off the plate. Mr. Fox tracks. Let's see where he said it was.
He said it was outside.
Off the plate.
It's a fine line for catchers, man. You want to argue, you really want to give them a piece of your mind, but you know you got to put on the gear and try and get that same pitch for your starting pitcher. Here's Hernan Perez, leaving the strike zone there, 0-1.
Well, they've got the whole game that they can discuss that at bat with. They don't have to spend a whole lot of time in the batter's box right there and then, because the whole next half inning in between pitches you can be talking to the umpire.
There's a wave and a miss, 0-2, and you can do it much more discreetly too when you're behind the plate. Perez getting the start today for Iglesias, who is sitting down. He tweaked his groin last night late in the game running the bases, and so Brad said before the game today that he'll probably need a couple of days off. Perez just got a piece of that one. So Hernan gets the call in this one here today.
Fill me in, Mario. Has Hernan played shortstop very often?
Well, he hadn't played a whole lot this year, period. In AAA last year, yes. It was a very good one. The 0-2, he swung on it, missed again, he chased.
Strikes out the side.
4 of them in the game now for Quintana. Go to the bottom of the second. Series finale here today in Chicago. The Tigers have a 1-0 lead as we go to the bottom of the second. Kyle Lofstein back to the hill, facing Adam LaRoche to start things off. Ben Ramirez and then Beckham. Kyle gave up a walk, but no damage in the first inning as LaRoche stands in at 220. 2 hits in the series, 3 walks. Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike. The shift for the left-handed batting LaRoche. He put that one in play right to the first baseman. Nice backhanded play by Miggy. Lofstein covers 1 away. The last time we saw Justin White, he was in a food coma on Tigers Live pregame. Let's check in with J-Dub now, see if he's doing any better.
Well, Mario, go big or go home, right? If you're going to eat a helmet full of ribs, you got to be prepared. So that's why I got the garbage bag on. You may remember last year it was the 3-pound, 12-scoop ice cream sundae in a batting helmet. This year, here at U.S. Cellular, it's the ribs, fries, cornbread, and coleslaw. And,
Oy.
yeah, I'm,
Still going, I see.
I'm still getting after it here. Mind you, I had ribs not once, but twice when we were in Kansas City. So after today, I'm going to say I've filled my ribs quota until roughly 2024.
All right, Justin, thanks. Hey, by the way, good job on protecting that Armani suit, too, with that garbage bag.
Hey, man, you can never be too careful, right?
Here is Alexei Ramirez. We're going to check in probably in the 8th inning. He's still going to be watching on this. Alexei,
you and I would have had that done in 5 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's no doubt. Ramirez has not homered this year. He's knocked in 9, and he shoots one on the ground. And Miggy, long way off the bag, he's going to choke to first base. You want to know help on that? Do it myself, he said.
Good job. 2 times in a row, maybe. Beckham can hit one over there and tie an all-time record.
Can't be beaten, can it? For 3 batters. Beckham at 280 getting the start today for the White Sox at third. Gillespie was out there for the first 2 games. Beckham back in a White Sox uniform. Spent some time with the Angels in the second half last year. He looks at strike 1. He can really play some defense. Here's the 0-1. Lofstein missing inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on the veteran Beckham. Former #1 pick of the Sox. Or first-round pick, to be more accurate. That was back in 2008.
He was their everyday second baseman for a few years. And now he's kind of playing the roving role, second, third.
Even short.
Alexei Ramirez doesn't take a lot of days off, but he will once in a while.
Beckham sends one back to the mound. Nice leaping play by Lofstein. And that will be a 1-2-3 inning. 1-0 Tigers. Bernstein advantage brings you the pitcher-batter matchup. The advantage belongs to Rajai Davis against Quintana.
Well, Quintana got him his first at-bat with a strikeout, but over the years, Rajai's had pretty good numbers against the left-hander.
And he'll start things off here in the third. All inside from Quintana. Davis, Kinsler, Cabrera. Tigers able to plate a run in the first inning on a hit batter, a single, and a wild pitch with the runner at third base. Fouled back out of play. Quintana struck out the side back in the second. Here's the 1-1 offer. Here's a strike. The wild pitch scoring a run in the first, and Quintana in his last start lost 1-0 on a wild pitch. The only run he gave up. Here's the 1-2. He went around. Davis out on strikes. Got him for the second time in this game. That is 6 strikeouts now for Quintana.
And they're adding up quickly for him. Some breaking ball in the dirt that Rajai just couldn't lay off of.
5 straight strikeouts as well for Quintana. Kinsler hit the ball hard his first time up and scorched one down the third where Beckham made the play. Getting to that point in the season now where you get into the month of May and you've had guys that have played every single day. Kinsler is one of them. And Brad wants to find a day where he can get Kinsler off. And Miguel Cabrera falls in that category as well. But Brad has also said he would prefer not to do it against a Central Division opponent. But the Tigers are in a stretch where all they're doing is playing the teams in the Central.
That's the whole thing nowadays with Interleague. You've got so many games in your own division. You just play that one series at home, one on the road against everybody else. So you got to pick the weak link of the one division that you feel they're just not going to get a lot of days off.
Here's the 1-1. I remember last year Kinsler played a ton of games in a row to start the year, but he was red hot at the time. I think they gave him an off day. I think it was in Oakland, and then Ian after that off day kind of lost his rhythm a little bit and went through a bit of a slide. You hate to take a guy out of a lineup when he's red hot too. High fly ball. Straightaway center for Adam Eaton. 2 gone.
Brings up an interesting conversation. I remember Sparky Anderson. Guys, September, August, September start acting like they're getting a little fatigued. He literally had team meetings and said, "You're not tired. That's all in your mind. Look at Ripken. He's out there every day, every year." He said, "It's overrated. You're not tired. Get out there."
So Sparky,
I don't think that philosophy wouldn't work in today's game.
No, I think you're right. Here's Cabrera. Hit by a pitch and scored a run in the first inning. No balls, 1 strike on Miggy. Then again, that's coming from a pitcher who had 4 days off between starts, Jack.
Well, one year I had less than that. But like I used to tell my teammates, you guys need to work 5 days to do what I do in 1. You always got to be thinking.
Oh, yes, you do. And you're at the top of the charts when it comes to that.
I also told him, if you want to win, get 10. I've never lost with 10.
0-2 on Miguel Cabrera. That's low. And you and I were talking before the game, and you want a change in baseball rules where if the pitcher throws a complete game, he gets a win and a save, right?
Why not? And a hold.
And a hold, of course. You've done it all. Here's the 1-2 now to Miguel. Way high. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Complete games. What are those? Those are no longer a part of this game.
Well, not as much as they used to be in the past. You see one now and you kind of open your eyes. Here's the 2-2. Miggy just got a piece of that one to stay alive. 19 walks for Cabrera this year, second in the American League. Only Carlos Santana of the Indians has more. Flowers flashing the signs. And a ball outside, 3-2.
There's where Miggy really makes his money. He's so disciplined on those balls that are going to be borderline. Rarely does he swing out of the zone.
Soft looper into left field. It's going to drop. Base hit. So Cabrera on for the second time.
I don't know that.
They say that a lot after Miguel Cabrera.
Let's take a look at the previous pitch before the hit. Breaking ball down and away, and Miggy lays off of it. And then he gets the ball middle half in, just fists it off. Flips it out to left field for a base hit. That's how you hit 320 year in and year out.
Here's Martinez, who singled to right field in his first at bat. That average up to 226 now for Victor, starting to climb a little bit. Would not bet against him that by the end of the year, as he gets healthier and healthier, that's going to be around 300 again. Third hit of the series for Martinez, who homered in yesterday's game against Chris Sale. And Victor takes ball 2 outside. It's such a different dimension when you have Victor Martinez being Victor Martinez behind Miguel Cabrera like he was last year in the lineup.
And he's been through a lot. When you think about it, what a great hitter he's been in his career. And yet he's gone through all his injuries with his legs. It shows how important leg strength is.
It's a fair ball down the third base line. To the corner it goes. Cabrera on his way to third base. Dave Clark will stop him there. And another hit for Victor. That's a 2-bagger.
There's my guy.
Yeah, he's 2 for 2. Then again, you cheated. You picked him after he got his first hit.
You had a chance.
I did.
So scoots right past Beckham there into the corner, touched by a fan.
So the Tigers have had 5 base runners today, all of them coming with 2 outs.
No, you can jump right over me with a big fly right here.
I can. This
3
is my
ribs.
guy. Cespedes right here. He's going to do it.
He'd be right there with JW with the ribs.
Yeah. Cespedes walked in his first at bat. He swings and fouls it off. 1-1 on Yoenis. 10 doubles this year, which is tied for the American League lead. He's had a lot of extra base hits, 15 to be exact. Quintana will throw from the windup with runners at second and third. The 0-1. Did he go? Negative. Paul Schreiber at first said he held up. Quintana last year a 9-game winner, lost 11, but his ERA was just a shade over 3. And along with Samardzija and Sale in the top 3 in their rotation.
Well, typical of Jose Quintana, that pitch count's already climbing. He's got 6 strikeouts. That adds to a lot of pitches. He walked Cespedes in the first inning, hit Miguel Cabrera for 28 in the first. So that pitch count's really climbing early.
Look out. Miggy has to spin out of the way down the third base line. Let's take a look at the Jimmy John's freaky fast delivery. It happened freaky fast in the first inning. Wild pitch. The Cespedes up there, and that allowed Miguel to come in safely.
The last 2 runs that Quintana has allowed have been on wild pitches. Miguel Cabrera scoring, and Kenny Vargas of of the Twins scoring. That was a 1-0 ball game.
Fouled away. The other thing adding to the pitch count of Quintana, all the foul balls the Tigers have hit in this game. They've fouled off 18 now against the left-hander, which has driven his pitch count up. There's J.D. Martinez on deck. Again, the 2-2. Oh, Cespedes drives him right back in the dugout.
Boy, that screen just saved somebody in the White Sox dugout.
Two balls, two strikes on Cespedes, who has absolutely owned Quintana. You've got J.D. Martinez, who has struggled waiting on deck. First base is open. And again, the 2-2. Another one down the right field line, heading back to the seats and out of play.
Well, you can see that his numbers are better with runners on, and there's 2 on right now. Very good numbers with runners in scoring position. So he can pick up a couple RBIs right here.
Low, fill it now, 3-2. Quintana had the 1-2-3 second in which he struck out the side, but after getting 2 men in the 3rd inning, a single and a double. This is the 9th pitch coming up to Cespedes. Sends another one back into the seats. One is handing out a lot of souvenirs today.
These kind of at-bats get pretty frustrating for a pitcher. You really have to focus on making a good pitch within the strike zone, hoping that you can get that ground ball. Maybe lucky enough to get him to chase if it's a ball out of the zone.
Bouncing ball right to 3rd. Beckham has it there. His throw is in time as Abreu holds onto the bag with his big toe. No runs, single double, 2 men left. 1-0 Detroit, middle 3rd. The T-Mobile Game Changer, and Kyle Lopstein going to be on this list. It's a list of most innings pitched without allowing a home run this season. Lopstein at 25 1/3. Dallas Keuchel has gone 45 innings without allowing a home run. Odorizzi and Martinez also on that list.
The Jim Palmer never gave up a grand slam ever. Just ask him.
He'll tell you. Here's Tyler Flowers. There's a strike called on Flowers. Micah Johnson to follow, and then Adam Eaton.
That's pretty good, really, for the young left-hander. Let's just hope we didn't jinx him.
Here's the 0-1. Now, Jack, there are no such things as jinxes.
That's true. That's true. We're not throwing the ball, right,
We're
Mario?
going to be on the same page here. There's nothing we can say in the booth that has an effect on what happens on the field.
Well, unless you are in Baltimore where there's no fans.
Well, good point. That's in the air to right field. J.D. Martinez coming in. 1 out, time for a game break now. Let's go to the studio and Mickey York. All right, Mick, thanks. Boy, the St. Louis Cardinals.
How about those Cardinals?
Man, they've won 20 games this year. They're 20-7.
Best record in baseball.
Every single season
How do
they
they
find
do
a
it?
way. Injuries or not.
Yeah, they lost their ace pitcher, and yet they're still able to go out there and win ball games.
Even back several years ago when Pujols left for the Angels, they just kept right on trucking. Lost one of the best players in baseball.
Well,
Strike is the call on Johnson.
You've got to attribute to it just a great farm system. They seem to, year in and year out, draft the right kids and develop the right kids because they always have somebody coming up that fills a gap.
Chopper back to the mound. And Johnson is out. Well, the best start in franchise history for those Cardinals. By the way, we had our chief statistician look up some numbers on Grand Slams. You allowed 5 in your career.
2 in 1 game to the
Really?
same guy.
To who? Remember?
It was in Boston. I've got to think about this. I know who it is, and I'm having a senior moment here, but I will get back to you on that. Those are the things you want to forget, Mario.
Yeah, well, that's true.
So, it's all worked out in my favor here.
Strike 1 on Adam Eaton. Now the question is, were you pulled immediately after the second grand
I was
slam?
going to say, just think how good you have to be to have your manager believe in you enough that you're allowed to give up 2 salamis to the same guy in 1 game.
It is pretty amazing. The 0-2. Ooh, that'll bounce in and bang off of the catcher Avila. Well in front of the plate.
Tony Armas. That's who it
Tony
was.
Armas.
Tony Armas.
Okay. Did he hit him over the monster?
Yeah, he crushed him. They weren't just top of the fence scratchers.
Did you brush him back the next time you saw him?
No. I stunk that day. That's all there is to it.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Eaton bounced down in the first. Kyle Lobstein working with a 1-0 lead. His pitch count in much better shape than Quintana's.
Yeah, Kyle's been cruising right along here after the first inning. He only allowed the 1 walk. Otherwise, it's been pretty much right through the order.
He tied up Eaton there and struck him out. First of the game for Lobstein. A 1-2-3 third. Let's go to the 4th. Tigers on top 1-0 as we go to the top of the fourth, and Chris Chelios taking this ball game in here from the cell. Enjoying a nice day of baseball, and right now enjoying a 1-0 Tigers lead as Detroit comes to the plate against the lefty Quintana. First one is in there to J.D. Martinez. J.D. struck out to end the first. He'll be followed by Castellanos and then Avila. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 on Martinez. J.D. struck out in his first at bat last night, but then he walked 3 times after that. Swing and a miss. He left the strike zone and the struggles continue. Well, Menards brings us the big money encounter, and well, we couldn't come to Chicago without reliving a great moment in Tigers history. Who's this guy, Jack?
Oh, boy.
See, you should have caught that ball right.
I did.
Well, you knocked it down.
Just want to make the guy run a little.
And there it is. The no-hitter against the White Sox, 1984.
Look at those funny-looking uniforms.
There's a ball high to Castellanos. Well, what was your line that day? The one thing I didn't know is he walked 6 guys.
Yeah, I knew I walked a pile of them. I was in trouble a few times, guys, in scoring position, but had some great defense behind me that day.
April 7th, 1984. 1 ball, 1 strike on Castellanos.
For all you listeners, you don't realize how fast time can go by. Some days that seems like yesterday. Some days it seems like a year, a lifetime ago.
Here's the 1-1 from Quintana. Well, does that rank right below the World Series title as your biggest moment?
Yeah, I think anytime you do something special for a hitter, maybe hitting for the cycle, those kind of things, it's a gratifying day personally, but it's not necessarily a team day. In fact, I would argue that I cost the team some pain that evening, and lucky to win the next day.
We won't delve into that.
Hey, it wasn't my fault. They dragged me out.
I'm sure they did.
I just had to pay.
And Chicago's a tough town to be drug. 2-2. It's fouled back to the screen. 2-2 the count stays.
It's kind of like, you hit a hole in one and you're pretty happy until you realize what it cost you.
Oh, no doubt. Yep. Still worth it, though.
I wouldn't know. I've never done that.
Well, yeah. Most of us haven't.
I think you have to play golf to get a hole in one.
Most people haven't thrown a no-hitter either. 2-2 is lifted in the air. Shallow center field. Adam Eaton coming on. And Nick is 0 for 2 in this game. 2 down. Hey, the Tigers face the Royals this Sunday night at 8:05. It is Sunday Kids Day, and don't forget it's Mother's Day. All kids 14 and under receive the first 10,000 moms receive a free Mother's Day tumbler. There it is. Good shot of the tumbler that you'll get that day if you're one of the first 10,000 moms. 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com. 2 away now for Avila. Alex lifting one foul. He struck out in the second. A total of 7 strikeouts for Quintana in this game. He's about to throw his 80th pitch.
Yeah, I was going to say both pitchers seem to really be in command here. Quintana, on the other hand, is just getting that pitch count up there where he might not see the 7th inning.
Avila hits one right into the shift. It'll go into short right field. And he's thrown out there to retire the side. 1-2-3 inning for Quintana. We're headed to the bottom of the 4th inning. Chicago 1-0 Detroit.
Live pregame today. Well, lucky you, because you got to see me try and eat a batting helmet full of ribs, fries, coleslaw, and yes, cornbread. And well, live update, guys. I'm making my way through the ribs, which are now ice cold. I'm pretty much ready to tap out, Mario and Jack. I mean,
Tap out.
there's some really messy fries at the bottom of this helmet. I would be more than happy to bring it upstairs to the booth.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, what do you think?
Pass.
You sure?
Hey, by the way, J-Dub, no offense, but I do not want to sit next to you on the team flight home tonight.
You know, you're not the only person that has said that to me today, Mario.
We're going to find a special seat for you. Yeah, that looks great.
There you go. That is what's left.
Rib soup.
The remnants of the helmet ribs, guys.
Awesome. You're a better man than me for tackling that. Thanks, J-Dub.
I don't know about better, but definitely crazier.
Melky Cabrera leads it off and sends a ground ball to second base. Kinsler on the charge. It's up the line, and Cabrera is safe. Routine play, but a wide throw. Nice base running play there by Melky. Here comes Brad to argue. Was he out of the baseline?
Well, he went around that line, I'm pretty sure.
So Osmond's now chatting with Paul Schreiber, the umpire at first base.
Looked to me like he went over to the grass there. There's a chalk line. And I don't know how serious umpires are with that. Let's take another look at it. Kids are doing a good job to get to that ball. Gets rid of it quick, but up the line. And Melky, you can see him off the line on the grass.
Yeah, that's borderline.
I don't know what that means. We're going to look at it. Brad's saying, hey, he's out of the baseline. Therefore, he should be ruled out.
So all four umpires will convene right now and at least talk about this. Right now, Cabrera's at first base, but clearly 2 feet outside of the chalk line. Did Cabrera tag him? Yeah, he tagged him, and I think the argument is he rolled into fair territory. That could be a legit argument. Watch his turn here.
What difference does that make? He's on the line. He's on the line.
They're
It's a base hit.
you saying base hit? Oh, take it back.
Excuse
An
me,
error.
error 4.
Yeah, E4. That is not a reviewable play under the current system. So E4. Leadoff man on for the White Sox in a 1-0 game. We'll see how that becomes a part of this inning and how big it is. Tigers, most part, have been really good defensively this year. So a rare miscue, especially from a guy like Kinsler, who's been almost automatic. Seemed to rush that throw a little bit. Way outside to Abreu.
Lobstein has not thrown out of the stretch since Abreu's last at bat back in the first inning. He walked him and then had a pitch out of the stretch to Garcia.
Strike call on Abreu. The White Sox have not had too many base runners in this game. They got the walk to Abreu in the first, and now the error by Kinsler here in the fourth. Lobstein's been able to navigate through the lineup pretty good so far. Two balls, one strike. Kyle has struck out only one in this game and has one walk. Bray was yet to swing the bat today. 2-1, it's fouled back out of play. So Lobstein at 40 now. Here is his ratio.
Yeah, he's been pretty much in command. Not a whole lot of action for the White Sox. See if he can get out of this little situation with the heat of their lineup coming up.
Soft line drive to right field, going to drop. Base hit. That'll send Cabrera to third. He is in there standing up. First hit of the ball game for the White Sox, and they're in business now here in the fourth. First and third with nobody out. Hey, Saturday, Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 returns. Doubleheader of divisional rivalries, beginning with the Royals taking on the Tigers. And the Braves square off against the Nationals. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday, Fox Sports 1, and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So here is the number 4 hitter, Avi Garcia. 2 on, nobody out. Shoot that one foul to right field, 0-1. Garcia flying to right field is only at bat in this game.
You look at Avi's swing, and it's clear to me that he loves to extend his arms, and you don't see too many guys pitch him in. Everything's away. Guys that strong, I just think they're making a mistake. They just need to run the ball in once in a while.
Soft line drive to right, base hit. Abreu is going to head to third. It's overrun by Davis briefly. That's a single and an RBI for Garcia, and the White Sox have tied the game. A little tough luck here for Lobstein and Aaron. A couple of soft liners. Garcia had the game-winning hit last night.
Now let's take a look at the 2 pitches. That was actually the pitch that he hit, and he did try to get that ball in. It just was down and in. It wasn't right underneath his hands. Hitters can get the head of the bat down. He flared his out to right field, and Abreu goes first to third.
Garcia now has an RBI in 5 consecutive games. Last night's was the game winner. Today's ties it up. Jeff Jones with a confab on the mound with the lefty Lobstein. Here's Adam LaRoche. Still nobody out. The White Sox trying to put up a big inning here in the fourth. LaRoche bounced out his first time up. Swing and a miss.
Critical part of this ball game. Quintana seems to be picking up some steam. He's been pitching well. Now it's all tied up, so Kyle's going to have to figure out a way to get this guy out without the runners advancing, and then hope for the double play.
Large base runners right now for the Sox. Garcia at first and Abreu down at third. 1-1 game, nobody out. We're in the fourth. Lobstein's first real trouble in this contest. Here's the 0-1. LaRoche has played mostly DH this year. He has started only 3 games at first base, yet he is a former Gold Glove winner. But the way he has fit into this ball club this year has been basically as the DH with Abreu. He's gotten most of the reps at first, Abreu. One and 2. He didn't like that call. LaRoche this year with 10 RBIs, half of them, 5, have come against the Tigers. Laid off that time, and the pitch missing a little bit outside, 2-2. LaRoche's got that straight up stance.
I was just going to say, he's got a Very unique style. Pretty much never bends his knees, only unless he's taking a home run hack. He stands there, doesn't do any kind of body movement. Couldn't put a whole team together of guys like that. It would really be something.
Did he go there? No, he did not. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Let's see if he went or not. He'd be the judge. I think he held up.
92.
He's never really got out over the plate.
Full count, 3-2. Fouled away. That'll get back out of play. Slopstein now about to throw his 50th pitch. LaRoche has Abreu at third. He's got Garcia at first. An error to start the inning began the trouble for Lobstein. Kyle pretty much taking the spot in the rotation of Justin Verlander, who got some good news yesterday after his 3rd MRI. He's been able to continue throwing now, but still a ways away, trying to build up some arm strength. And he lost the ball 4 as LaRoche lays off. So that's going to load the bases. Still nobody out.
Yeah, it's the second walk now for Kyle. Loads up the bases. Now he's in a little bit of a jam.
Tigers hoping for some length today from Lobstein in this game. They've had to go to the pen in the first 2. Quite a bit, as a matter of fact.
Yeah. 5 relief pitchers used in yesterday's game. 3 in the previous game.
Abreu, Garcia, LaRoche, your runners for the White Sox. Nobody out. Here is Alexei Ramirez. Swinging on the first, grounds at the 3rd.
Hey.
Will tag the bag. Coming home, Abreu. He is tagged out. Castellanos will get a double play.
And what a way to get the double play. Now you've got 2 outs and a runner at second base instead of bases loaded with nobody out. So caught a break right there. Let's see this right now. A sharp ground ball to third baseman Nick Castellanos, goes right to the bag. That's the force at third. And then Alex Avila's got to tag Abreu, which he does.
Boy, a big turn of events in this inning. They get the double play. It'll go 5-2. Runners at first and second with 2 outs now, and a chance for Lobstein to get out of this mess. Here's Beckham. He went right back to the mound his first time up, 0 for 1. Heads up play by Castellanos. .269 average for Beckham. Way outside. 2 balls, no strikes. Nick last night was taking a lot of the blame, putting it square on himself after he was unable to catch that line drive off the bat of Eaton, which turned out to be a huge play right ahead of the Melky Cabrera home run. He was in on the bunt, though. Ball was hit pretty sharply. Here's the 2-0. Ground ball right side. Miggy on the backhand. Nice play. Beckham is out, and that'll end the inning. Minimal damage done. It's an unearned run against Kyle Lobstein. The White Sox have tied it at 1.
Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. Myers, save big with M-Perks from Myers. Sign up at mperks.com. And by Chevrolet, find new roads. Wrapping up this 10-game road trip, Tigers and the White Sox all knotted up at 1 now as we go to the top of the 5th inning. Hernan Perez will start things off, facing lefty Jose Quintana. Showing bunt, and it's in, strike 1. Quintana got Perez to leave the strike zone in his first at bat, struck him out swinging. And this year now offensively, just 15 at bats for Perez, 2 for 15. No sign of bunt there. He takes outside, 1-1. Davis and then Kinsler to follow here in the 5th. Quintana last year made 4 starts against the Tigers, all quality starts, and then he got roughed up the first time he faced him this year back at Comerica Park. Been a lot better today, although the pitch count has been up. That's mainly because of the 7 strikeouts. Pulled on the ground at third. Nice play by Beckham. Swing around and throw him out. It's 5 in a row retired by Quintana.
Take another look at this one here. Gordon Beckham going to his left. And he just keeps that head down, keeps the glove on the ball. Plays the short hop a little bit. Wheels and turns.
Here's Rajay Davis. Rajay has fanned twice in this game, 2 of the 7 that Quintana has picked up. Double, triple RBI in the series. Rajay in his 2nd year with the Tigers. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two and 1 on Rajay. Davis has hit safely in 11 of his last 14 for the Tigers this year. Still finding trouble getting consistent playing time because Anthony Gose has been so good. He's been over 300, Gose has. With 2-1. But really in tandem, these two guys have done, I think, a very more than serviceable job.
It gives Brad an option defensively because both guys are similar defensively. They both can cover the ground in the outfield, and then he's got the righty-lefty with speed, both guys. So gives him options.
Full count, 3-2. There's Gose. Anthony played game 1 in the series, had 2 hits, a steal, and a run scored. And he walked him, so Davis fell behind in the count and then ends up walking. 1 on, 1 out. Here's their high-speed pitch brought to you by Xfinity.
You see his fastball's been clocked there at 93, changeup 77. Hasn't thrown that many changeups. It's pretty much fastball breaking ball.
Here's Ian Kinsler. He's been retired twice. Line out, fly out. Average at 282. Quintana's been a pretty good find for the White Sox. He was in both the Mets and Yankees system. Was released by the Mets. The White Sox picked him up. The Yankees had him in their minor league system. There's strike 1 on Kinsler. Miguel Cabrera waiting on deck.
Defense playing straight up against Kinsler.
0-2. Davis 6 stolen bases this year, measuring his lead against the lefty, and held it first by Abreu. Forcing Davis to dive back into the bag that time. Rajay in his Oakland days had a pretty good tutor during spring camp in stealing bases. Ricky Henderson. And he'll draw another throw. And I guess the one thing that Henderson imparted on Davis is if you're ever going to be a great base stealer, you're just going to have to find a way to be fearless. You can't be afraid to try and steal a base. And that pretty much has described Davis in his career. He's at 79%. Foul back.
I've always felt Rajay is capable of stealing 50 bases a year.
Yeah.
He just needs to get on base, number one, and he likes to pick his spots. He's not a guy like Ricky who would go. I mean, you would know when Ricky was going to go, and you still couldn't throw him out. Rajay isn't like that, but I've seen him outrun the baseball. He gets, I mean, I think he keeps gaining speed all the way into second base.
No balls, 2 strikes on Ian Kinsler. Nothing doing there, and the count now will go 1-2 on Kinsler.
Ian walked 3 times yesterday. Had the 1 strikeout.
Breeze is blowing briskly out to left field in this one. Bounce in. And Rajay holding at first base.
We really haven't seen a lot of balls hit hard to the outfield today. It's all been soft stuff and infield ground balls. Strikeouts, a lot of those, especially for Quintana.
Talking about Ricky Henderson, he stole in his career over 1,400 bases. A couple of times over 100 in a season.
Well, he's got me on that list, way up there. I helped the cause.
Is that right? You chipped in?
There's nothing worse, too. Ricky would get on, and he was a tremendous leadoff hitter. You know, you would think you could pattern him or you could do this, and every single time he tried to do something different, he'd be on base. And then it wasn't just first base, he'd go to third base. So you had nobody out, and there's Ricky at third base.
So basically a walk would turn into a triple.
I mean, a lot of times. And of course, he was one guy that just annoyed the living heck out of me. And once he became my teammate up in Toronto, I realized, hey, this guy isn't near what I thought he was.
Soft line drive to left. That'll be a base hit for Kinsler.
No, it's not how hard you hit him, it's where you hit him. That one fell in the right spot.
Kinsler now 1 for 3, so the Tigers have 2 aboard, and now they bring up the big guy, Miguel Cabrera. Hit by a pitch and a single. Tigers trying to break this 1-1 tie here in the 5th.
Ricky Henderson, a Hall of Famer, the greatest base stealer of all time.
Meanwhile, Quintana now is zeroing in on 100 for the game. He's at 97. Here's Cabrera. Swing and a miss by Miggy.
And it looks like Robin Ventura is going to want him, get him a little deeper into this game. Now somebody's going to get the phone, I think, but no activity. Well, as I say that, there's going to be something stirring in the White Sox bullpen.
Guerrero sends it back out of play, and he's down on the count 0-2. Quintana had retired 5 straight. Then he walked Rajay Davis and gave up a single to Kinsler. And there's the activity in the bullpen.
Jake Petrishka again.
He was pitching in last night's game. There goes Davis to third. No throw. Flowers couldn't handle it. And a stolen base for Rajay.
Well, Chevrolet brings you the high-strength steal of the game. And there Rajay goes. Flowers drops the ball, picks up that steal of third base. And a lot of the great base runners feel that third base is an easier bag to get than third base because pitchers pay a little less attention to you at second base, and you can read them, get the bigger jumps.
7th of the year for Davis. Another one pounded back out of play by Miguel. Well, the Tigers in decent shape here to try and regain the lead. Meanwhile, Quintana has crossed the 100 plateau. He's at 101. You factor in the strikeouts and all the balls that the Tigers have fouled off in this game. They have really worked Quintana. The 1-2. Ground ball to third. Beckham dropped it. He'll get the out at first, but the run will score as Davis comes in. It's a break there for the Tigers. Rajay scores, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Let's take a look at our bell tire pitch by pitch here from Miguel Cabrera in that particular at bat. Let's see, fastball away that Miggy swung at off his plate. Couple breaking balls, fouled off fastball, and then hit that breaking ball right at Beckham. Beckham doing a good job knocking that ball, realizing what kind of runner he had, picked it up and threw out Miguel, but he picks up the RBI.
Number 21 for Cabrera. Tigers have regained the lead. The usually sure-handed Beckham might have had a chance there to double play. And instead, the Tigers get a run.
And you got to credit Rajay Davis to get to third there. That would not have scored had he not stolen third base.
Now Victor Martinez looks at a strike 0-1.
So that's a way of showing that the Tigers manufactured a run there.
Neither one of the Tigers runs scoring on a hit. The first run scored on a wild pitch, and that one on a 5-3 groundout. Kinsler at second with 2 outs. Big swing there by Victor. 0-2. Martinez starting to surge a little bit now. 2 more hits today, single and a double to go with his 4 RBI effort yesterday. Here's Quintana's 0-2. Just got a piece of it to stay alive. The home run that Victor hit yesterday was just his 2nd extra base hit of the year. He's picked up another one here today with his 2-bagger. Both of the Tigers rallies starting. Well, one with a hit by pitch and the other with a walk. They've made Quintana pay both times. Flowers able to block it, 1-2.
And should Quintana be done after this half inning, which is very likely, he's another tough luck guy. I mean, I just mentioned the first run scores on a hit by pitch. Those leadoff walks, they always come back to haunt you. The second run, the go ahead run at this point.
And his teammates have only provided him with a run on 2 hits.
2 hits.
Swing and a miss. Victor is down on strikes, and that is that for Detroit. They take the lead, though, on the RBI by Cabrera. You're watching Tigers baseball today, presented by Bell Tire.
the rubber for the bottom half of the fifth inning. We'll look at some of the plays that he's got played behind him. He's done a pretty good job. Only 2 hits allowed through 4 innings. And helping his own cause there with that good defensive play his own. Strikeout to Adam Eaton. And a little Houdini act in the 4th with bases loaded. He squeezes out of it with only the 1 run.
9 ground ball outs in this game for Kyle, who goes to work here in the 5th inning, sporting a 1-run lead now. It's 2 runs, 4 hits Detroit, and a run on 2 hits for the homestanding White Sox. Flowers, Johnson, Eaton, 8, 9, and 1 for Robin Ventura. And Flowers looks at a ball outside. Flat out to right field is only time up. Only 56 thrown by the lefty Lobstein. Here's the 1-1. Flowers mired in a 3 for 31 slump right now. He's a guy that got out to a really good start last year in the month of April. Hit over 350 last month. Or last year in the first month. But could not duplicate that this year. Waiting on deck, Micah Johnson. Here's the 2-2. Got a piece of it to stay alive, and he banged that one off of Vila.
Slider that just kept coming in on Tyler Flowers' hands, and he fouled that one off right below the label. Let's watch it again here. Just keeps eating, digging inside. Of course, Alex Avila takes the brunt of it.
So far, so good in terms of giving the Tigers some length for Lobstein. Tigers, as Jack mentioned, used 5 relievers in the ball game last night. Penn in need of a break. Missed outside. Full count now, 3-2 on the number 8 hitter, Tyler Flowers. Swung on and missed to strike him out.
That ball, I don't know, just swung right through a hollow bat. Pretty much right at the shoulder level, belt right across the middle of the plate. And you can see when a guy's going bad, he doesn't see the ball well.
And so Flowers now 3 for his last 32. That is the 2nd strikeout of the game for Kyle. Micah Johnson showing bunt. Speed is the name of his game. One of the faster players in the American League. Johnson out of Indiana University, trying to hold down that second base position. Pops up a bunt. Avila gets there. Nicely done. 2 gone.
Well, Alex helping out his pitcher right there, jumping out of the catcher's crouch very quickly. Heads up play right there.
Two up, 2 down. Avila getting the start today in spite of the fact that the White Sox are throwing a left-handed pitcher. Here's Adam Eaton. He's had a tough day so far. Strikeout, ground out. That's in, strike 1. .205 average now for Eaton. Wind is really starting to swirl now. It is blowing out toward left. Bouncing ball second base side. Kinsler has it there. Plenty of time and throws out Eaton. 1, 2, 3 inning. Lobstein looking good today. 5 in the books. hitting a wild pitch. Scores Miguel Cabrera from third base to make it 1-0 in favor of Detroit. In the fourth inning, though, Garcia answers with an RBI single, tied at 1.
Caught a little break right there. A good play for Nick Castellanos, tagging the bag with bases loaded and forcing it out with Abreu. And then Rajai Davis steals a bag, gets driven in when Beckman bobbles the ball a little bit from Miguel Cabrera. Stand right there, 2-1 Tigers.
And so Jake Petrichka comes in now in a wall-side windows pitching change here in the 6th inning. It'll be the 7th appearance of the year for Petrichka out of the bullpen. ERA just a shade under 5. He pitched in last night's game. Cespedes leads it off. And Martinez and Castellanos against Petrichka. Quintana threw 107 pitches. Meanwhile, Lapstein's thrown only 66. Big disparity between the two starters today. Cespedes hits it hard to the shortstop. Let's say Ramirez throws him out. One gone. Bring up J.D. Martinez.
Well, the final line now for Jose Quintana is pitch 5 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs, both earned, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. So all he can hope for is his ball club to tie it up so he gets another no decision. Otherwise, he's on the hook right now for another loss.
Martinez takes strike 1. More action in their bullpen. Dan Jennings warming up. Two more strikeouts for J.D. Martinez today. He'll shoot that one in the air to right field. Garcia moving over. 2 up, 2 down in the Tigers' 6th. Hey, this Saturday the Tigers face the Royals at 1:08 p.m. Be sure to arrive early for the special pregame on-field clinic hosted by Tigers players and coaches. Call 866-66-TIGER. For more information, check it out online, tigers.com. How to play the game the right way for the Tigers players and coaches. It's a fun day at Comerica. Chance to go on the field. Nick Castellanos, the batter. 2 outs, nobody on in the 6th. 2-1 Detroit in the final game in this series. White Sox have won the first 2. Oh, 0-2 on Castellanos. And the 0-2 pitch. He thought about it, laid off. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Castellanos. Fly ball, strikeout in this one. 1 for 11 in the series for the Tigers' third baseman. Two and 2 the count. And should Castellanos reach, Avila waiting on deck. Only 6 hits between the two teams in this game. 4 for the Tigers, only 2 for Chicago. Ground ball, third base side. Beckham scoops it up. And Castellanos is out. Petrichka with a 1-2-3 inning. Here comes the bottom of the 6th.
night's game after 2 quick outs. Adam Eaton shoots a ball down the left field line that Nick Castellanos couldn't catch, and then Melky Cabrera, a 3-run home run. Avi Garcia drives in Abreu with the go-ahead run, and a tough loss for the Tigers last night here at U.S. Cellular.
And we travel to the bottom of the 6th this afternoon. It is 2-1 in favor of the Tigers. Only 2 hits allowed by Kyle Lobstein so far. He gave up a run on the RBI single to Garcia in the 4th. That has been it. The runner reaching on an error to lead off that inning. And that was Melky Cabrera who starts it off here in the 6th.
So far, so good for Kyle. Kind of just what the doctor ordered after bullpen getting a lot of work in the last few games. Long road trip. Eat up some innings. Keep the team in the game. That's what he's done a pretty good job of so far this year.
Grounded foul. No balls, 2 strikes on Melky Cabrera. Two, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Cabrera, then Abreu, and then Garcia. Little chopper hit towards second. Charging Kinsler. And throws him out. 1 gone. Time for a game break. Let's go to the studio. Mickey York. All right, Mick, here it is 2-1 back at U.S. Cellular as we play in the bottom of the 6th inning.
Brewers, another team having a horrendous start to this year.
They've got a new manager because of that. The ball almost hits Abreu.
Not too many guys have ever had a good swing when they're moving their feet. So I look at that pitch as, even though it wasn't intentional, it serves a purpose. Make him a little less comfortable at the plate.
Single and a walk for Abreu in this game. Lobstein, by the way, has gotten 11 ground ball outs.
3 innings, which is even more impressive.
The 2-0. Another ground ball. This one right at the shortstop, Perez. 2 up, 2 down.
Chance to make it 4.
7 straight retired by Kyle. Here's Garcia.
Keep the meat of the lineup off the base pass. For the most part, that's what he's done in this game.
I mentioned only 2 hits for Chicago. Single by Abreu. That was part of their run scoring inning in the 4th inning. Got a base hit by this guy here, Garcia, to drive in their only run. Big swing there, fouls it back. Garcia now has been on base in 22 of the 24 he's played in this year. Off to a really nice start. 10 of 11. He's hit safely in. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Garcia had his season cut short last year. Was trying to make a diving play out in right field. Ended up tearing his labrum in his shoulder and missed most of last year. Although he did come back late in the season. 1-2.
Good breaking ball right there. That's called the back foot slider. And you can see how Avi swung right over the top of it. Another look at it. Alex sitting inside, and that ball just keeps biting back towards that back foot.
Chris Sale threw a couple of good ones in last night's game.
And come right back with it.
Swing and a miss, and Kyle Lobstein continues to cruise along. He's retired 8 straight. That was a 10-pitch 6th inning. Look at the lobber doing work today as we go to the 7th. The U.S. women's national team against the best team in the world in search of their third World Cup championship. The only place you can see the 2015 FIFA Women's World Cup is on Fox and Fox Sports 1 beginning in 30 days. Well, Kyle Lapsey's done a nice job for the Tigers. Meanwhile, back to the bullpen go the White Sox. Another wall side windows pitching change. It'll be Dan Jennings.
Petrishka works one clean inning, and therefore he brings in a left-hander to start off Alex Avila.
Avila, then Perez, and then Rajai Davis. 2 runs on 4 Tigers hits, a run on 2 hits for the home team today. Jennings works it home high, his first appearance in this series. Born in Berkeley, California, lives in Florida now. And Jennings pitched his college ball at Nebraska.
Cornhusker.
Yeah. It's the 1-0. It's low. 2 balls, no strikes. Nebraska has gotten some guys to the big leagues. Alex Gordon, Java Chamberlain, Darren Erstad.
Ryan Dunsing, relief pitcher for the Twins.
Dunsing, another good one. And, of course, Dan Jennings. 28-year-old. 2-0. 2 balls, 1 strike on Avila. Strikeout, ground out for Avila in this game.
Part of the reason I think they've got Alex in this game is his veteran leadership with the young pitcher. He's done a good job behind the dish, calling the game, and helping Kyle Lupstein doing a great job.
Yeah, because really on the surface, you figure when Quintana's starting a lefty, they would start McCann, who's done a really nice job with the bat this year. But there is that other part of the game, handling the pitching staff with a youngster like Lopstein out there.
Yeah, I think Brad just realizes his bullpen is a little worn out. And if we can get an extended inning or 2, and Alex might be able to do a little bit better job than the younger McCann.
3-1 is rolled to the teeth of that shift on the right side. Alex bouncing out. Should be a 4-3 ground out. Johnson handling that ball. You really have to check sometimes because a lot of teams, Tigers included, will shift that third baseman over there.
Yeah, it's a scramble. You do have to check because sometimes they just slide around. Sometimes the third baseman runs all the way over into the hole.
That was a 4-3 ground out. Here's Hernan Perez. 0 for 2 for Perez. Strikeout, ground out. Ball 1. Hernan has had 16 at bats this year at the major league level. 2 for 16 in search of his first RBI. Hit 287 at Toledo last year. One ball, 1 strike.
Our Crackerjack research team down the truck just brought up a good point that I would like to discuss with you. As long as we're doing this shift and that's become part of the game, why don't we just number the positions? And it doesn't matter who it is that's playing over there.
Interesting. Pop up for the second out. So in other words, even if it's the third baseman out there,
it's still a 4-3. Yeah. If it goes over on the other side, say there's a shift for a left-handed hitter, or excuse me, a right-handed pull hitter.
You know, anything to make things easier for me, I'm all for. So I'd be good with that.
And that's why we bring it all up.
All right. Well, here is Rajai Davis. Two strikeouts, a walk, a steal, and a run scored. Rajai got it going back in the 5th. Strike 1 on Davis. Rajai's stolen base of 3rd was his 7th steal of the year. Setting up the ground out by Cabrera that scored it. Bouncing ball left side. That time Beckham able to scoop it. Jennings comes on for an easy 1-2-3 inning. Time to stretch here in Chicago. Tigers holding on to that 1-run lead. Lead despite having only 4 hits in this game because Lobstein has been really, really good.
He has been. Now they're going to put the shift on. Castellanos playing over in the hole there off for Adam LaRoche.
12 ground ball outs in this game for Kyle. LaRoche, Ramirez, Beckham against the lefty. And it's in for a strike 0-1.
Strike one. Best pitch ever in the game of baseball for a pitcher. Kyle's just done a good job of, well, 4-3, 1-2-3 innings. 4 1-2-3 innings.
Yeah, I'm all for that. 1 in the second, 1 in the third, 1 in the fifth, and 1 in the sixth. Pitch count in great shape all day long. Kyle has retired 8 straight. Pulled toward that shift right at Castellanos, who bobbles. Better hurry. Got it by a step. 5-3 ground out, 1 away.
Let's take a look at the big boys' big plays of the game. Back in the 4th inning with bases loaded, Nick Castellanos gobbles up a ground ball and goes to home after touching the bag to get a double play. And then Gordon Beckham hits one over to Miggy, and Miggy says, "I can beat you to the bag." Kyle Lobstein gets out of the inning with just the 1 run scored, and that was huge at the time.
Well, Lobstein has been huge all day with the way the Tigers bullpen has been had to be called on quite a bit in this series. He's pitching here into the 7th. And he delivers a strike to Alexei Ramirez. Here's the 0-1. Well, ball 1 strike on Ramirez.
I just know there's something to the fact that a pitcher that works quickly and attacks the strike zone, the defense is on their toes. Miggy's made a couple great plays at first. Castellanos made a couple nice plays. Not much going on in the outfield today. Lobstein's just kept everything on the infield.
That's a foul ball to the left. Something about rhythm, isn't it, to the game?
And the game has got a better pace, which probably gives Lobstein a little bit better rhythm. I know it did for me. Slow games, long innings. It's kind of a catch-22 for the pitcher. You want your team to score a pile of runs, but you don't want to sit too long either. So it's a lot better paced game than last night's game.
Ramirez on the ground twice in this contest, 0-for-2. Fastball away, and the count on Alexei. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Only 2 singles allowed by Lobstein in this game. They came consecutively in the 4th, which helped set up the run that the White Sox have scored in this game. Inside now, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Lobstein has only had 4 3-ball counts, including this one here. Pulled on the ground and through, a base hit. 3rd hit of the game now for Chicago, all singles. He had retired 9 straight prior to that hit, so the tying run is on. Here is Gordon Beckham. Beckham has also put the ball on the ground twice. Lifted in the air to shallow center. Rajay coming in. And Ramirez will have to retreat. So Beckham is retired quickly. 2 away.
Well, he's coming right back and hitting the strike zone. Gives up the base hit to Ramirez, and then the first pitch, strike. He gets Beckham to fly out to Rajay.
And that will leave it up to Tyler Flowers. Fly ball strikeout for Flowers in this game. It's a pretty nice sight to be able to look out at the Tiger bullpen right now. Here in the 7th inning, you see all quiet.
Yeah, it's a 1-run ball game. It shows the confidence in what actually Kyle Lobstein's done today. 3 hits allowed through 6 2/3 innings. All quiet out in the Western front there.
Meanwhile, Zach Duke starting to warm up in the Chicago bullpen.
Part of it's because of Lobstein's pitch count. He's in great shape. 86 pitches. I know that Brad would love to get him all the way to the closer, Joaquin Soria.
Well, you bring up a good point, though. It is showing some confidence because this still is only a 1-run game.
Yep.
And again, he'll go back to first base. Ramirez drawing some attention. In the air, center field for Rajay Davis.
That'll work.
Flowers is out, and so are the White Sox. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. Tigers baseball today presented by Bell Tire. Strong, scattering 3 hits, 1 run. It was unearned, by the way. 3 strikeouts in this game. Victor Martinez, 2 more hits. Pretty good day so far for the ball club.
Yeah, my guy's kind of leading the charge, but if Lobstein goes 8, I'm going to have to relinquish my guy and give it to Kyle.
Well, yeah, but you can't select Kyle. You've already selected Victor.
I know. I'm just saying you're
okay.
back in. You're going to get a wash here because your guy hasn't done much yet.
Well,
yeah,
true.
It's early.
There's still work to be done
He's
here.
got more at bats.
Here is Kinsler looking at a strike as we start things off in the 8th. My guy Cespedes today is 0 for 2 with a walk. Kinsler and then Cabrera and then Victor. Only 7 hits between the 2 squads this afternoon. There's a ball inside. Jennings came out in the 7th, got the Tigers 1-2-3, and he's been on some kind of roll. The opponents are just 3 for their last 33 against him. That is doing some pretty good work. 1-1. That's a fair ball. So much for that. That'll bang off the wall in the left. Kinsler motoring towards second. Cabrera had trouble picking it up, and it's a leadoff double.
Well, that's the second hit of the game. 3 in Kinsler. More importantly, the Tigers now have their leadoff man in scoring position.
Kinsler has just picked up his 13th multi-hit game this year.
Big boppers coming up.
And that's Cabrera with nobody out, leadoff double here in the 8th. Tigers trying to extend a 2-1 lead. They're not going to pitch to Cabrera with first base open. So Miggy will be walked intentionally. Tigers fans here in attendance want to see their guy hit. Not going to happen in this at bat.
Have you ever seen a hitter stand there for an intentional walk? Let the guy throw 3 balls and then swing at the 4th one and the 5th one to go 3-2 and then maybe make the manager.
I've never seen that.
I've seen it in the minor leagues.
Have you really?
Yeah.
Interesting strategy.
So they still walked him, by the way.
Oh, did they? So Victor, after a Cabrera walk, 357. That is the 5th time this year that Cabrera has been walked intentionally. Of course, last night he had a big at bat.
Yeah, that first home run from the right side. First home run period for Victor. Chris Sale was not happy, frustrated with pitch selection with his catcher Tyler Flowers too. And I'm sure that was a little bit of the history they've had with the old spyglass.
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 Ball 1 to Victor. By the way, in that home run, we noticed that Victor was cruising around the base paths. They actually have a website called Tater Trot Tracker. Tater Trot Tracker.
Of course they do.
And they tracked him in 33 seconds to get around the bases, which was the 2nd longest trot this year behind David Ortiz.
Oh, my goodness.
You visit that website all the time, don't you,
Oh,
Jack?
of course, yeah. Well, it's high on my list of priorities.
Line drive to center field, base
There's
hit.
my guy.
Here comes Kinsler rounding third. He's going to score, and Victor Martinez has picked up his 3rd hit of the game. And you picked correctly today, sir.
I lucked into it, but it's good to see Victor getting his hits. Picks up an RBI right there. A little bit more breathing room now for Kyle Lobstein and Brad Ausmus. Let's take a look at the pitch right there. Inside out swing, gets the barrel on the ball. Pretty good location. Look at that ball. Is actually off the plate. But Victor inside out. And that's just professional hitting right there.
That it is. 2 singles, a double, and now 14 RBIs this year for Martinez as he continues his climb in the batting average column. 6 Tigers hits now in this game, and here is Yoenis Cespedes. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Cespedes was at the plate when Quintana Uncorked a wild pitch in the first inning, scoring the first Tigers run. Zach Putnam now is working in the Chicago pen. Oh, 0-2. Yoenis has put the ball on the ground each of the last 2 at-bats. So Jennings had a 1-2-3 seventh, but trouble here in the 8th. Double, intentional walk, and a single. Victor Martinez, by the way, has really padded his stats in this ballpark. 65 RBIs in 88 career games here. And number 65 was a big one today, which gives the Tigers a 2-run lead late. High fly ball, center field. It'll be playable for Adam Eaton. Both runners tagging. Catch is made. Here comes Cabrera to third. Throw is high. And both runners move up.
Heads up play by Dan Jennings, the pitcher there, to back up third base. That ball was airmailed over the cutoff man and Gordon Beckham at third base, but Dan Jennings, the pitcher, right there to keep it from going maybe into the dugout and allowing Miguel Cabrera to score.
Victor also moving up to second base. So now a base hit gets you 2 more. They're going to walk J.D. Martinez. So second intentional walk in this inning. It's going to load the bases for Castellanos. Here's ball 3 missing outside. So Martinez, who is probably welcoming this right now because he had 2 more strikeouts today, was 0 for 3. He'll take one outside. Of course, he also wants to drive in a couple of runs too, but he won't get the chance. So we'll get a meeting on the mound now. John Cooper comes trotting out of the dugouts for the White Sox. Hey, Saturday Major League Baseball on Fox Sports 1 returns with a doubleheader of divisional rivalries, beginning with the Royals taking on your Tigers. Then the Braves square off against the Nationals. Coverage begins at 12:30 Eastern on your home for baseball every Saturday. Fox Sports 1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go. So here is Castellanos. Nick 0 for 3. He's got 3 men aboard here. Cabrera, Martinez. Ball 1. You know, part of Miguel Cabrera's game that gets overlooked sometimes is his base running. He went from first to third on a single in this game, and now second to third on a fly ball here.
Yeah, and we're talking about a guy with not very good speed at all, but smart base runners know situations and know the outfielders and what their ability level is.
Look out, line foul back in the seats, 1-1. High baseball IQ for Miguel Cabrera to go with his supreme skills. Castellanos trying to bust this game open here in the 8th. They're loaded up with 1 out. Strike called on Nick. 1-2. Bouncing ball to third. Foul ball. Threw it away, but it didn't matter. Foul is called by Jim Reynolds down at third.
Beckham went through the motions of fielding the ball and touching third base, hoping for a double play, but then he airmailed it over. It was too late. Look at Miguel. He touches that ball. He could have been called out because at the time the ball was fair.
Inning started with a double by Kinsler. Intentional walk to Cabrera. Victor signals in a run. Fly ball advanced the runners. Then another intentional walk. That one to J.D. Martinez.
Pretty good battle here for Castellanos. Really use a hit right now and an RBI, not just for the team's sake, but for his own sake.
Yeah, he's 1 for 12 in this series. He's had but 6 hits on the road trip, which winds up today, the final game of this 10-gamer. Line to left field. There's your base hit. Cabrera comes in to score. Martinez will go to third. Everybody moves up, and the Tigers have added another 4-1 ball game.
It's another, just a huge run right there. Good job for Nick Castellanos. Kept his head still, chin down. Picks up an RBI. Good job.
Meanwhile, Castellanos now comes out of the game. He'll get the congratulations from his teammates. Romine will pinch run for him. It'll be the 9th RBI of the year for Castellanos. Still only 1 out, and here is Alex Avila. So a couple of intentional walks in the inning, followed by a couple of RBI singles. Avila takes ball 1. Two ground out, strikeout as well for Alex. 2-run inning for the Tigers, and they're not done yet here in the 8th. Tigers now with 7 hits on the day, and only 3 for Chicago. Bouncing ball, first base side, foul. 1 ball, 1 strike. Victor at third base, J.D. at second base, Romine, the pinch runner, at first.
There's not any law against piling on. Only 1 out.
Let's see if Avila could do just that. Here's the 1-1. 1-2. This is the 7th man to bat in the inning against the guy that was pitching some of the best baseball out of the Chicago bullpen. 26 pitch inning for Jennings.
And counting.
And the 1-2. Pulled foul right by Vizquel. Avila 2 for 7 in the series with a home run. He homered off the glove of Melky Cabrera in game 1. He went the other way with it. James McCann played yesterday. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Avila is out on strikes, and that is the second out of the inning. Looks like that's going to be it for Jennings.
And see, climbs the ladder with the fastball right there. Goes up in the zone. It's just couldn't catch up with it.
So he'll give up the baseball as Robin Ventura goes to the bullpen. Zach Putnam coming in a 4-1 game. We'll be back. White, who seems to be in better shape after the rib in the helmet debacle.
Mario, no worse for wear. I'm feeling much better right now. I went upstairs to the press box, drank some water, flossed because I had some pieces of ribs in between my teeth. So after that, I feel great, honestly, and I'm kind of glad that I left the rest of those French fries because after a while with the barbecue sauce, it all starts to kind of mix together and stick together. It was kind of like a poutine at the bottom of that batting helmet.
A what?
Poutine.
What's a poutine?
It's a Canadian dish. You got to look it up.
Well, you guys that cover the Red Wings would know all about that. All right, I'll look it up. Thanks, J-Dub.
All right.
Good to see you're in good shape after that ribs in the helmet thing. Here is Zach Putnam now. He'll take over.
Zach picked up the win in last night's ball game. Pitched an inning, one-hit ball.
Hernan Perez will bat. And he pops up the first pitch. Back behind the plate, Flowers may have room. He does. And he squeezes it for the out. So the Tigers get a couple of big runs, though, over the bottom of the eighth. on the Tigers. They've been battling rain today, the Royals have, in their series against the Indians. Tigers trying to hold on to this lead right now. They are up by a score of 4-1 as we go to the bottom of the 8th.
3 more outs for Kyle Lobstein. He's going to have himself a wonderful afternoon. It is either way, but Brad Ausmus would love to get him through this bottom of the 8th inning and turn it over to his closer.
Third consecutive start now for Lobstein, where he's gone at least 7 innings. Hernan Perez, by the way, will move to third base. Castellanos is out of the game. Romine, pinch running for Castellanos, moves to short. There's a strike called on Micah Johnson. Adam Eaton and Melky Cabrera to follow here in the 8th. Much more comfortable lead now for Detroit. It's a 3-run spread.
But if you're Kyle Lobstein, you cannot change your mindset. You've got to attack that first hitter. You've got a little more breathing room, but you do not want to let off. First out, first pitch strikes, all those things are important. 2 right-handers warming up in the Tiger bullpen.
Just tried to get out of the way that time, did Johnson. 0-2 the count on the number 9 hitter. Grounded back to the mound and popped up. Here's the 0-2. Rolled foul. Right now, Johnson just trying to reach and get something going, much like he did in the ball game last night when he singled with 2 outs in the 8th inning, and that started what turned out to be the winning rally for Chicago. Ground ball in the hole. Romine going to have a tough play. Too much speed for Johnson. That's an infield hit. He gets it started in the 8th inning for the 2nd straight night.
And nothing Andrew Romine could do. He made a nice play there and got all he could on the throw, but with Johnson's speed, base hit all the way.
So here's the top of the order now. Adam Eaton. Only the 4th hit allowed in this game for Lobstein. We've got yet another ground ball, but that one found a hole. Eaton showing bunt, takes outside, 1-0. A couple of ground balls to second base, also a strikeout in this game for Eaton.
Yeah, throw it over, let him bunt, take the out right now.
Two and 0. Lobstein has had 4 different 1-2-3 innings. The 2-0 pitch. Melky Cabrera next. The problem here is that Lobstein now will delve into the meat of the lineup. Nesbitt, Soria have been warming up in the Detroit bullpen. There's Cabrera lurking.
Melky's hit 3 ground balls to Ian Kinsler today.
There's a ground ball to Ian Kinsler. To second for 1. The relay. Double play.
Beautiful thing. 4-6-3 couldn't have been executed any better. Nice flip from Ian and a good strong throw from Romine. Getting the speedy Eaton.
Boy, did that come in handy. A guy that's tough to double up in Eaton, but he hit it sharply right at the second baseman. 15 ground ball outs total now. Strike 1. Cabrera reaching on an air back in the fourth. Came around to score their only run in this game. Lopstein's 0-1 pitch. Tigers have turned a couple of double plays in this game. Here's a soft line drive just out of the reach of Romine. Almost made a flying catch from the shortstop position. 2-out single.
And right at 100 pitches, Brad Ausmus is coming out to get him. But here you see the numbers for the innings, and every one of those, other than the fourth inning, the inning that he had a little trouble, was very good shape. A great effort. Can't ask for a lot more from the young left-hander. He walks off into the dugout with a chance to win a ball game.
So with Jose Abreu due up, the Tigers go to the bullpen. We'll be back in a 4-1 game. The man at first base, he was spectacular today. Now Joakim Soria coming out of the bullpen.
On a day when the Tigers really needed a pitcher to get deep into the game, he was just what the doctor ordered.
So Soria now will try and get a 4-out save as he tries to get the final out here in the 8th inning. Jose Abreu steps in. And he looks at ball one outside. Single and a walk for Abreu in this contest. The 1-0 is in for a strike. 1-1 on Abreu. Lopstein 7 2/3 in this game. Soria establishing a club record as Avila goes down. Man, he took the brunt of that. Soria had 9 saves in the month of April, which is a club record. Now Avila's going to walk out to the mound. Here comes Kevin Rand as well. Let's make sure that Alex is okay. Last time Soria saved a game of 4 or more outs was 5 years ago, but Brad Ausmus not messing around today. After the bullpen gave it up last night, he's gone to his closer here in the 8th inning. April of 2010. Let's see where that got Alex.
Right off his forearm. Ugh.
1-2 on Abreu. Swing and a miss. Soria comes out of the bullpen and strikes out Jose Abreu. White Sox will leave a man. We've got 8 in the books. Lopstein, an outstanding effort in this ball game here today. And we will go to the 9th. As we go to the 9th, it is also a 3-run lead for Detroit. 4-1 is our score. And the Tigers will have the top of the lineup here in the 9th inning. They'll send Rajai Davis to the plate. Zach Putnam came on to get the final out in the 8th. It'll be Davis, Kinsler, Cabrera facing the right-hander. That's a strike call. Rajai's 0 for 3, but he has a walk and a run scored. He's also stolen a base. In the air to center field, Eaton cruising over. And that is the first out of the night. Davis flies to center. Brings up Ian Kinsler.
Kinsler's having a good day at the plate. 1 for 2 with a single and a double. Scored a run in the 8th inning.
Another multi-hit game. Kinsler came in 3rd of the American League in multi-hit games. Average up to 295 now. Ball 1 outside to Kinsler. (2-0) now on Ian. Tigers wrapping up this series. They've got a big homestand coming up. Big because the Royals are coming to town beginning tomorrow night. 3-game set against KC. Strike call, 2-1.
You mentioned something earlier, Mario, of how they're playing so many games in their own division, and yet the importance of those games. Kansas City leading by half a game going into today's game, and they've got a chance to take care of business by themselves. They'll go through a stretch where they're going to play out of their division for a while, so every opportunity you can to kind of take business under your own hands is a good opportunity.
Tigers right now in the stretch of 19 straight against the Central. That is popped up foul and back to the 6. They battle for it. 3-2 on Kinsler. Chelios tried for that foul ball. He's probably laughing at everybody who was diving over seats to get to it. Cheli had a good time today. Here's the 3-2. And he got him strike three. Kinsler thought he had a walk, was headed to first. And Manny Gonzalez is not so fast.
You know, so many times when a hitter starts walking down the line instead of just freezing, that ball clearly is low according to Mr. Foxtracks, but not according to Mr. Gonzalez.
No, and that's the opinion that counts. Miguel Cabrera swings and misses 0-1. White Sox in the ninth will have Garcia, LaRoche, and Alexei Ramirez. And they'll be facing Joakim Soria. The 0-1. Miggy walked intentionally in the eighth and came around to score a run. His ground ball produced a run in the fifth. Bouncing ball left side of the infield. Alexei Ramirez has it. And it's going to be a 1-2-3 inning for Putnam, which means we go to the bottom of the ninth. Tigers need 3 more outs. Raise your expectations of what a bank can be when it's time. Come to Comerica. Your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Wallside Windows, we can do that. We are the factory. Bottom of the ninth inning here in Chicago. The Tigers lead by 3, 4-1 as they try and salvage a game in this 3-game series. And it's Joakim Soria back to the hill, trying to get the final 3 outs. He will face Abisail Garcia to lead it off. Wave and a miss by Garcia. The bottom of the ninth is underway. Soria came out to strike out Abreu in the 8th inning, trying for the 4-out save here today. Garcia swings and misses again, 0-2.
Well, I like that move from Brad Ausmus to bring in Soria in that situation. Nesbitt was up and throwing in the pen, but he had thrown in a couple games. Soria is well rested. He should be able to get 4 outs instead of 3.
Swing and a miss. Boy, he just carved up Garcia.
The big hook that got him. See the 12-6 curveball right there, and it had a tremendous amount of break. his second strikeout.
Here's LaRoche. Yeah, I agree with your thought there on Soria. There are just times throughout the course of the year where you have to make moves like that, especially coming off a game in which the bullpen blew one late. And Brad knew that to end this road trip, they needed to win this game, so he brought in his closer. He still needs to get 2 outs, though. Here's Adam LaRoche. In there for a strike. LaRoche, couple of ground balls, then a walk. That's in there for strike 2. Just got a piece of that one. LaRoche will stay alive. Alexei Ramirez will be next. Tigers have 4 runs, 7 hits this afternoon. 1 run, 5 hits for Chicago. White Sox only run coming way back in the 4th. Lobstein was tremendous today. Swing and a miss. That's 3 straight strikeouts for Joaquin Soria. He followed the Tigers all season in 2015 with MLB.com at Bat, the #1 app for live baseball. That Bat is up to the moment at any moment. With in-game highlights, live look-ins, replay reviews, and radio broadcasts, plus a whole lot more. Get MLB at Bat for your smartphone or your tablet. Well, 1 more out to get. Here's Alexei Ramirez. Tigers win today. They end up 500 on the road trip. And Ramirez with a huge swing.
Trying to hit the salami right there to put him ahead, I guess.
There's a slight problem with that.
Yeah, nobody on. He did pick up one of the 5 hits for the White Sox here this afternoon.
Another big swing by Ramirez.
And Soria just pounding the strike zone, coming in, getting ahead. 1 pitch away from getting a save.
Line that one foul to stay alive. Tigers strike away from their 18th win of the season. Chicago still trying to get to that 500 mark. They came in at 10-14. Breaking ball got him swinging and missing. Joaquin Soria comes in the 8th and ends up striking out 4 consecutive batters. He can't do it